Welcome back to this World of Warcraft Let's Play. You're with Sambo, and joining us as always is our Worgen Mage, Seraphis. Hello, just taking a dip there in the ocean. Oh, I see, you're contemplating the view, the moonlight over the water there. Yes, very nice, with an Night Elven ship in the background. Welcome to you viewers, and of course if you were with us in our last episode, you'll remember that we have a big task ahead of us here. What's it called? They have allies, but so do we. Use the Night Elven Glaive Thrower to slay 40 Orc Raiders, 8 Wolfmoor Outriders, and 4 Orcish War Machines. If we have a look at our map there, you'll see that it's up in this unexplored area to the northwest here, northwest of Kiel Harbour, which is where we are. And it looks like we're coming to nearing the end of this Worgen zone, because of course we have to use these. And as I said in the last episode, I think if you've played Warcraft 3 ever, these will be very familiar to you. Of course, they were a lot smaller back then, and you didn't get to ride them yourself like we will right now. But it looks like we have to head up there, and you can see we've got a towering ancient in the background. That's probably the first time a lot of you have seen that particular type of mob. In this case, it's friendly to us. And you can see it's level 12 epic. Once we get up close to that, you'll see that it's very big. It's basically WoW's version of a treant. And up there is a battlefield, and like the quest log says, we've got orcs up there to deal with this time, and it's probably one final push that we have to do in order to be able to get off. Where are we? Get off here, get off the Gilnean continent and onto the Night Elf ships, and of course they're going to take us through to the Night Elf area where we'll carry on questing after we've finished in the Worgen zone. But before that, of course, let's hop ourselves onto a Glaive Thrower and have a look at this. So here we go. Very cool. So of course you can see we've got a target there. I'm just holding down my right mouse button to be able to move that target around. We've got a launch glaive button, and we've got a glaive barrage button, and we've got a double speed button as well. So let's use the double speed. Here we go. We've got a bit of a speed boost. And you can see there's another player there as well. So here we are in the Headlands. It's like kind of a Scottish Highlands, if you like. Oh, it looks like I can't drive over the walls. And there's the towering ancients. So we're going to launch these glaives there. You can see that they're doing damage to the orcs. Here we go. You can see, let's select ourselves an orc. And we've also got a barrage, which is a whole bunch of them there. You can see it kills off a whole group of them. It's kind of like an AoE, if you like. And we've got an Orcish War Machine up there as well. So it's the Orc version of what we're using now. And of course we can also semi-run over these guys, these Orcs. So you can see there, Orc Raider slain 11 out of 40. And they're basically having a big battle with the treants, with the towering ancients. And we can come along in the meantime. And there's some Outlaw Riders by the looks of things, riding Warwolf. Pretty sure we have to get them. Oops, and you can hear them. They're attacking us now. Wolfmoor Outrider slain, so we definitely got one of those. You can see our health here is not looking too good. 16%. Need to get the heck out of town. Oh, we've got a whole bunch of them, that's why. Let's see. Oops. Uh-oh. I think we are going to die big time. Yes, we are. And you can see the orcs there. Whoopsie. The Wolfmoor Outriders. There's a whole bunch of them grouped up together there. Not very pretty at all. Definitely from the Horde. And they basically one-shotted us. Whoops. So we got 1 of 8 Wolfmoor Outriders slain. 16 of 40 Orc Raiders slain. And 2 of 4 Orcish War Machines slain. So we didn't do too good there. Let's have another crack at that. Now where are we? Okay, so we're just at the base of the village really. But it looks like we have to... Oh, it's quite a long way to run. Oh, good lord. You know what? I'm just going to take the hit. We'll go to the graveyard and we'll just take res sickness, which, yes, means our stats aren't very good and we're going to be very squishy for a while. But of course it doesn't matter so much because... There we go, accept. Lovely, because we're going to be in a Glaive Thrower, of course. So it doesn't really matter about our own health, unless, of course, the Glaive Thrower gets destroyed like it just did then. But yeah, so it's not so important. You can see there I've got a buff. It's up to 4 minutes something. Decreases all attributes by 75% and all damage caused by 75%. You're currently worth no honor points to the enemy. That's for PvP. But yeah, so all of our stats are reduced. You can see there our health is down to 194, our mana is down to 273. And in fact, if you look at our attributes here, you can see that the strength is minus 19, agility is minus 18, intellect is minus 33. That's why they're all red, because they've got debuffs on them. And you can see that all these figures are extremely low. That is the resurrection sickness acting up there. But otherwise we would have had to have run to our corpse out in the headlands there, and you know what, we would have rezzed and got killed straight away anyway. So at the end of the day, we really had no choice. So let's just hop on another machine, try and stay out of trouble a bit more this time. We'll use the speed up ability. So just to recap here, Launch Glaive fires a large glaive towards the area, dealing physical damage to enemies and causing them to be knocked back. Whereas this one here fires a barrage of large glaives towards the target, dealing physical damage to them in the area and causing them to be knocked back, of course. So basically an AoE versus a single target. Oops, there's some up there. And it's got quite a nice range on it, so we can probably start firing well out of range of the orcs themselves, so we don't get ourselves into quite as much trouble as we did that time. Now, of course, we're also looking for the Raiders, which are probably on Wolfback, and there's some over there. Let's fire a barrage over there.
I can't cast that yet.
Not sure if we got any at all. Right, so 29 out of 40 of those in our Warcraft III War Glaive, basically. Our Glaive Thrower. I do love all the Night Elf stuff. Very cool. In fact, like I said earlier, basically the way that WoW works for Worgans is that... Oh, there we go, killed a whole bunch of them, hopefully. There we go, we've got 40 of 40 Raiders. We just need to get 2 more War Machines. Is that one up there, or that's destroyed? There's one. No, they're both not destroyed. Yeah, so what happens when you get out of the Worgen starting zone, basically our Night Elf allies take us under our wing, and they will take us over to, I think, Darkshore, which is a Night Elf area normally. It's where you start in Teldrassil, a place called Teldrassil, when you're a Night Elf, and then the sort of secondary area that you go to is Darkshore. That's where you rejoin the normal WoW game when you play a Worgen. So once we hit Darkshore, it's basically back to the normal, non-specific starting zone type thing. It's actually a normal zone where anybody can quest. So that, by the way, is humans, Night Elves, Draenei. You can all make your way there, and we'll hopefully get a nice ride there courtesy of the Night Elves. Alright, there we go. So we've helped the Towering Ancients. Let's give ourselves a speed burst and get back home. So we've killed off the Wolf Riders, we've killed off the actual Orc Raiders, and of course we've destroyed some of their own war machines. So it says here the Night Elves have made good on their promise. They've brought us ships and are ready to offer us sanctuary in their land. So that's just what I was talking about then. Unfortunately, the Forsaken's allies have arrived as well. And of course they're referring to the orcs there. They're advancing upon us while the Horde Gunship prevents the transport ships from taking our people to safety. So those war machines, I think, are what we took out, are what we needed to do in order to make safe passage for our ship. So let's amble our way back home and hop out of here. There we go, and our res sickness is gone, so you can see we're back to 297 health now and 628 mana. And of course, if we look at our stats, they're no longer red, they're white and green, green being buffs and extras that we're getting from any gear that we've got. And by the way, I've got another add-on here that I haven't talked about before called Bonus Scanner. It's the little helm icon up there on my mini-map. Now that's actually showing what our attributes are in terms of extra bits that we've got. So you can see we've got 2 extra stamina and 8 extra intellect brought to us by gear. It tells us our DPS, and that expands later on in the game as we get more and more stats. It also tells us what gems we've got. A number of little cool things there. I'll put that in the doobly-doo below the video. That's called a bonus scanner. Very handy to have. All right, Lord Darius Crowley. It's almost over, Seraphis. Only one obstacle remains between us and survival, so we're really getting close here. What is this, a 2-handed staff? Oh, it's a shame. It actually is a lot better stats than what we've got. It gives us 3 intellect instead of 1 intellect and a lot higher DPS, not that that matters. But of course, let's have a look at it. Yeah, it's very boring looking. So I hate that. There is still no appearance slots in WoW, which is a real shame. Of course, if we go to our paper doll character screen here, you can see that all we've really got are the actual slots for our weapons and items. There's no appearance tab. So if I put this much better staff on, which we do need, you can see that we don't quite look as cool as we do with the awesome staff of Earned Tranquility. So that's a real shame, unfortunately. Never mind. What we'll do, of course, is keep that in the bank for posterity's sake. So let's save the new outfit there, because of course we changed our staff. You can see their equipment set's normal, and if we look at our fancy staff, you can see that it's got no equipment set associated with it. Alright, let's see if we can find ourselves a vendor. Looks like there's a general goods vendor here. Thank you, Marie Allen. Are we in an inn? Yes, we are in an inn. We'll use Salamatic to sell off our greys, our vendor trash. We're keeping these ones up the top here, these nice greens, because we're going to put them on the auction house, make ourselves some money. And of course we're keeping all these crafting materials to put in our bank
stand-up business here
whenever we get near one. So it looks like, who's got a quest for us? Not you. Someone over here has. Looks like Lorna Crowley, so Lord Darius Crowley's daughter. What she's saying, oh, this quest is called Endgame. That's quite funny. We need to get rid of that flying gunship if our people are to have any chance of escaping. That's interesting. I don't see a flying gunship. Maybe they're referring to the one that was over here, right back at Greymane Manor. Hang on, I'll expand the map. I don't know if you remember, but we went up to the observatory tower here with King Gen Greymane, and we looked out over into this harbour, and there was a Horde Gunship over there. I'm wondering if that's it. Either that or it's up here somewhere. Who knows? We can see a lot of the map has opened up now, by the way. Very cool. Right, let's have a chat to her and see if she gives us more information. Here's the plan. Kiel Harbour had its share of rebel sympathisers in the old days. I've managed to round up a hefty amount of incendiary explosives from one of our storehouses. Okay. We're going to hit the enemy with a force small enough to fly undetected. The Night Elf Hippogryphs should do the trick. Alright, Tobias will give you the signal when we're ready to go. So we have to jump on a Hippogryph when Tobias signals you and destroy the Horde Gunship. Well, this is exciting. So let's have a look on the map and see where it is. No, it doesn't say. Alright, and I think you'll remember in the last episode we talked about these birds, the Hippogryphs. They're the Night Elf, or you see them in the Night Elf zones. They're the equivalent of the big griffins that are in... We must bide our time, they won't know what hit them. The griffins that are in Stormwind, or the bats that are, if you're the Horde, around Undercity. They're the public transport. These are public transport in the Night Elf lands. And they're very cool. I love their design.
Any friend of Greymane is a friend of mine.
Right, so it looks like this is a timed event. Let's give everyone time to gather. We need a handful of people to come with us. So yeah, definitely a timed event. We're going to have to wait, I think.
What is it?
Yep, there's nothing we can do, just have to wait in this case for the event to start. While we do that, perhaps let's have a look at our pets, shall we? Let's bring out a little companion. Who can we bring out? We'll set flight once everyone is ready. Who have we got? Maybe Mr. Chili? Oh, I know who we should bring out. Pandaren Monk. Well, hello, he gives us a bow. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but basically he also does some random animations. He does sort of a kung fu, hi-ya! No, I'm not going to repeat that, hi-ya type routine, and he does some karate chops, but it is totally random. I've tried all sorts of things to get him to do it. Oh, there we go. Alright, that was one of them. He actually does a couple. Maybe they've changed that. Maybe clicking on them a lot. He's a funny little fella. No, okay, he actually does quite a big kung fu routine. It's quite long. It's longer than the one he just did before. He doesn't seem to be in the mood. Alright, here we go. It's enough biding our time. Let's put away Pandaren Monk. Time to go. Let's hop ourselves on a Hippogryph. And up and away we go. Alright, so this is, again, a quest called Endgame, so I'm guessing it's one of the last quests in the game, and it appears that we will be heading over the Headlands and down into the area where we did see that gunship over near Greymane Manor. I could be wrong, but it looks like we're heading in that general direction. With the moon in the background there, we can see the rocky cliffs coming up, and yes, it is. So there you can see that gunship. There's the tower that we were up with King Greymane. And you can see the Horde battleships down below and the Horde gunship coming up. We don't seem to have any weapons or anything. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Maybe we're going to actually launch ourselves onto the gunship. I'm honestly not sure. You can see the Horde symbol there. Oh, and there's some of our guys. Some of our guys have made it up the top here. Oh, and we've got a gunship grunt. Let's see if we can aid the fight.
I need
Looks like Lorna Crowley is already here. So this is interesting. We're just assaulting the gunship, landing right on it. Good lord. A very bold plan.
I don't have a target.
So doing our bit to clean up the Orcish Horde. And maybe we have to clean these guys up before the event will carry on any further.
Make it quick.
You can see we're up very high. You can see the Horde ships below us there. Alright, so she's saying to us, secure the rafters.
What is it? Make it quick. I want 2 sharpshooters to stay behind and cover the deck. Everyone else, use the ropes to rappel down. Let's give them hell.
Very cool. So we're going to use these ropes on the ground here to rappel down the side. There we go. We just use that. Whee! And there we go. We drop down the side there from that platform. We've dropped down onto the deck of the ship. It's Frost Nova. So these guys are stuck in place. Fortunately, they're nice and easy to kill.
Hands up, greenskins!
I need to
My
target
men
something
will give
first.
you your new
I need a
bearings.
target.
You try anything funny, I'll fill you with lead.
I need to
Hands
target
up, green
something
skin.
first.
She says, my
I
men will
don't
give
have a
you a
target.
new
Follow
bearing.
me downstairs.
Rest of you follow me downstairs. All right. Down we go into the gunship. So it looks like the navigator and the captain are being held prisoner, and we've got to follow Lorna Crowley downstairs. Now exactly where downstairs is I can't remember. Obviously it's not that way. Whoops. Maybe it's down under here. Yep, this looks right. Here we are in the belly of the Zeppelin.
We've got the explosives in the furnace room. Just hold them off now.
Alright, you can see we've planted explosives there, incendiary explosives.
That's one big orc.
Oh, holy kick. That's Corm Bonegrind, the machinist. That is indeed one very large orc. Oh my lord. And look at that, we're actually, I don't know if you can see on the map there, but we're actually moving because we're flying in the air. So we're moving all over the map. We're not where we started from. which is another cool effect. Someone there whispering if we want to join their guild. So let's take down this big orc. Throwing everything we've got at it, of course. And a clear cast popped off there. That's what that sound was, as I'm sure you're familiar with by now. Whoa, gunship destroyed. There it goes. And look at us. Whoa, big explosion. And we'd flown all the way over to the northern headlands. And that's us there, managing to escape on a Horde Wyvern. Thank goodness. As we fly over the area where the plague is being manufactured. You'll remember that from the episode with Sylvanas in it. Alright, and yes, so it looks like we're going to head back to, well, where is that? That's the Kiel Harbour, where the Night Elf ships are waiting for us, hopefully to take us to their lands. And there we go, were we successful? Let's go check by handing in.
What is it?
We did it, Seraphis. We've started the evacuation. If we leave soon, we'll leave the Forsaken Fleet in the dust. Complete that. Everybody on board the ships now. This is it, folks. This is us saying goodbye to Gilneas. Take one last look at this because we're never going to be able to come back here with it in this particular state. And you can see there that we didn't actually explore an area up there north of the city. But this is indeed it. This is our last chance. If you ever want to have a good look around this entire zone, all of these episodes that we've spent in this new Worgen area, which of course was brought in with the Cataclysm expansion. You can see here, let's recap, we started off in a city here, or rather a town, that had farms and everything out here where there's water now. That got destroyed as the coast kept crumbling in. We then had to go up to Greymane Manor, where we then had to travel along this road, through here, where we ended up in the marshes. And of course here is where there was a wagon ambush, the Forsaken and some of the orcs. We had to get them in a battle to blame each other so that the heat got taken off us. We then arrived in Stormglen Village, where we had adventures there. We learnt fishing down on the coast. We then had to adventure in the Blackwold there, starting off with the Dark Ranges, and of course the tree, the Teldurin tree, where we discovered all sorts of interesting things about the connection between the Night Elves, and of course discovered our origins in terms of the curse of the Worgen. Then we went up to Tempest Reach, and you remember there where we were being sneaky rogues. We then had to go north, where we mounted an assault after clearing out the Emberstone mine and the Forsaken outpost there. We marched into the city with hundreds of other soldiers, of course, retook the city, bumped into Sylvanas, who herself killed our prince, and then we overheard her conversation with the orcs, where she said that she wasn't using the plague, and of course then we found out up here in the northern headlands that they were, and we had to go bomb all of those production facilities. Then we ended up going under a tunnel and ending up in Edric's Repose here, where we had to calm the spirits of our past soldiers and pay respects to Liam as we buried him. We ended up here in Kiel Harbour, ready to take the fleet of Night Elves. Before we did that, though, of course, we had to come into the Headlands with our Glaive Thrower and clear out the Orcish hordes in there, and that's led us to where we are today, which is where our Night Elves are saying, hey, you know what, you guys, you've got nothing left here, it's time to leave. So let's talk to Admiral Nightwind.
I'm listening.
Here we go, Ruttherin Village. Are you ready to set sail, Seraphis? Your people have been granted shelter in the lands of Keldorian. Basically, that's Elvish that language. Do not worry, Worgen. Your people will get a chance to fight for Gilneas again, this time with the full strength of the Alliance. And so for you guys at home watching that haven't played WoW, there's two major factions in the game, the Horde and the Alliance. The Night Elves are part of the Alliance, as are the Worgen, obviously. And this is the Night Elves helping out their allied friends, i.e. us. And again, we're able to take shelter in the Night Elf lands. And what's going to happen now? I honestly can't remember. Big moment here, of course, because we're leaving Gilneas for the very last time. And wow, look at that. It's transported us straight to Teldrassil, straight to Rut-Thurin village. If we have a look at the map now, without any pomp or any circumstance, and you can hear that. Oh, listen to that. That's the beautiful Night Elf music. It's one of my favourite in the entire game. We are now, folks, in the Night Elf starting zone. When you're a Night Elf, you start up here. This is a great big tree called Teldrassil, and obviously it takes its cue from Nordrassil, the world tree in Gothic mythic legend. What is it? Nordic legend, I think. Someone can correct me on that, but Nordrassil is the real world tree, if you like, that's referred to in Tales. The WoW version of that's called Teldrassil. You start up here in a secluded area when you're a Night Elf, and you work and quest your way through, and you end up in the city of Darnassus here atop of this great big tree. And in fact, we can see the map. That there is the Night Elf capital of Darnassus. And we're up here, so now we can see the full map, which is really cool. We're over here. This is Teldrassil, the tree. Over here is Bloodmist Isle and Azimist Isle. This is where you start if you're a Draenei. Here's the Night Elf starting zone. This is the entire continent of Kalimdor, primarily Horde. And, for example, Orcs will start here. Well, not right there, actually. They'll start in the Valley of Trials, which is down here in Durotar. And you end up in... where are we? End up in Orgrimmar, which is one of the major Horde capital cities. That's all on this big continent here. If we zoom out once again, we've got the Eastern Kingdoms. Let's have a look at that. And you can see the Eastern Kingdoms is kind of made up of a northern and a southern part. This is primarily an alliance area. And in fact, in Elwyn Forest here is where humans start. They start way up the top here in a little place called, what is it, North... Oh, you know what? I honestly can't remember, but it's a little camp up the very north there. And then you work your way through Elwyn Forest and quest through here. And here is one of the major cities for the Alliance. That's where it's parked right there, Stormwind City. And we can click on that. And that'll be familiar to a lot of you if you've played WoW before. Good old Stormwind City. Of course, it's changed a lot in the expansion. We'll go through that in another video. But to get to that continent from one to the other, you normally have to take a boat across. And also, because we're up here in Kalimdor, up in Teldrassil, we will have to take a boat across to Darkshore over here. Now, by the way, Northrend, that continent up the top, that's all Wrath of the Lich King stuff. And of course, again, if you've played Warcraft III, The Frozen Throne, you know all about Northrend. That's basically level 70 to 80 content all through there. Some of my favourite zones are in there, like Howling Fjord and Grizzly Hills. We'll get to see them a lot later. Dalaran, one of the capitals, is, or it's not a capital actually, but Dalaran is a city, a neutral city. I'm not sure if we can show it or not. Let's have a look. Oh, yep, there it is. So that's a map of Dalaran. We'll go through that another time as well. But so that's the main world. We've now got new areas here, an undersea zone in here, which was brought about with the Cataclysm expansion. We've got Deepholm in the middle here, Kazan, which is the what is that? The gnomes? No. Oh gosh, that's terrible. It's not the gnomes. It's the I've got a complete blank. Drawn a blank. Gnomes are Alliance, and you know what? I can't even think of what they're called. What are the horrible other little ones? Not gremlins. What are we? Gnomes. They're on the Horde side. I've drawn a complete blank. I obviously need lots of sleep. Anyway, our goblins. Gosh, that took a while. Shame on me and my WoW lore. Good lord. So if you're a goblin, you start here and you end up in the Lost Isles. They're all new in Cataclysm. But as for us right now, we're over here on the island, on the tree. We're at the base of the tree, and we're going to have to end up over here in Darkshore, which is where basically, if you'll have a look at our level, we're level 14 at the moment. Our content for level 14 to 20 will take place in this zone here called Darkshore up the top of Kalimdor. That's it, a zoomed in map. If you've played WoW in the past, you'll see that this has absolutely changed heaps. There never used to be this waterworks all through here. That's basically because the Cataclysm has torn this zone apart. And in fact, some of the familiar villages, once we get there, you'll have a look, be able to have a look. All our familiar villages have gone. They've been absolutely torn asunder or disappeared under the sea, and they're just ruins now. And there are all sorts of new outposts and totally new quest lines to be had here in Darkshore. But while we're here, we're at Rutthrin Village. You can see we've got a flight. That little symbol there means there's a flight point. And you know what? I think what we might do is we might actually, in the next episode anyway, we'll do a bit of exploring around here. We'll go up and have a look at Darnassus. I wouldn't mind taking you through Darnassus. We'll get the flight point for it. And we can see the bank. We want to go to the bank, which is up here in the major city. And there's auctioneers, and there's all sorts of vendors, there's profession trainers, you name it. So that's definitely something we can look forward to. But you can see already the architecture. Oh, by the way, that's an alliance ship there that's just leaving the port. That will be heading over, where's that going to go? That one is probably going to, that one actually might be going over to Darkshore, actually. I can't remember if it's a, or it could be, yeah, it could also, there's a ship that leaves over to Azimist Mile as well. There's Isle rather. There's a whole bunch of public transport networks. But anyway, the big thing is you can now see what the Night Elf lands kind of look like. They're absolutely gorgeous. There's the big tree. We end up way up the top of it up there. The lovely music. Here's a Night Elf ship. I'm going to have to ask these people where they go, because I honestly can't remember. There's so many different docks now. The Cataclysm certainly changed things, and you can see a wisp on the front actually of that Night Elf ship. That's very cool. That's called Elune's Blessing. Oh, and I love that music. And yes, you can see the Night Elf architecture. It's absolutely fantastic. We've got a fishing trainer there. And you can see it's very colourful, very pretty. I don't think we're high enough to get any more fishing training. No, we're absolutely not. And listen to those sound effects and the music. It's just beautiful. Oh, this is so cool. So good to be here. It's been a long time since I've been here, actually. What I do want to know is which ship goes where, though. Oh, there's a rabbit. You know what that means? We need to love the rabbit. There we go, and that should add to our achievement, of course, to all the squirrels I've loved before. Let's have a look. So we can see there that we have acquired the squirrel, so that's good. That was an elfin... I mean, sorry, not a squirrel. What am I talking about? We're looking for a rabbit. Oh, it doesn't appear to be a rabbit on the love list after all of that. Interesting. Right, so there's another ship. I'm pretty sure, like I said, that actually takes us across to Darkshore. Let's see, where are there other ships? We'll go have a bit of a look. See what's over here. Oh, there's another port there. Or rather, another dock, although that might just be scenery. I'm not sure if that's an active ship. Because I'm pretty sure we've basically got a... Actually, you know what I can do? We can open Atlas. And this is another great use of the Atlas add-on. Transportation maps. Here we go. So let's have a look at the Eastern Kingdoms. No, we want the Kalimdor continent and we want Alliance. Alright, so the ships. Yes, looks like we've got one that goes over to Azimist Isle, so I thought as much. Rutthrin Village, and the other one goes all the way to Stormwind Harbour. Oh, that's why that ship looked like a Alliance ship, because that actually takes us all the way over to the Eastern Kingdom. So that's that ship I was telling you about that takes you between the two major continents. That will take us directly to Stormwind City if we so wanted to go there. Now, I'm not sure. So it looks like there's no longer a ship across to... Let me see. It doesn't look like there's a ship anymore across to... No, there isn't. Across to the Darkshore, which is where we need to go. There used to be a ship that went from here, Rutthrin Village, across, but maybe it's just a flight now. So many things have changed in the Cataclysm expansion. We'll have to go have a look. We'll see what this quest giver has to say. It's Krenin Aranus, of course, who we were with in Gilneas. So this is it. Our new home. I'm not sure if I'll ever feel like I truly have a home again. We mustn't be unappreciative of what the Night Elves have offered us, though. Their race is not one to throw out idle welcomes to just anyone. It's a true testament to faith and generosity that they've taken us in. Gwen and Greymane are in the city proper at the Howling Oak. Oh, there we go. You should stop by. Take the portal beneath the tree north of us and seek out the Howling Oak in the northern portion of the city. Alright, so we actually do have to go into Darnassus proper. So that's cool. And here is a Hippogryph Master. Let's see where
Peace.
he can fly us to. Alright, so if you haven't seen these before, this is the public transport that I was talking about earlier. And look at this view, it's just gorgeous. When you right click on a flight master, basically you can see that we can go to all these places. So I was right, there's now a flight across to Kalimdor, which is where we'll end up eventually. We can also take a flight to Moonglade. Now the flight to Lord Danil, which is a new place in Darkshore, that's free. But you can see when I hover over Moonglade here, which is another zone at the top of the Kalimdor continent, we could fly all the way there by Hippogryph. It will cost us 7 silver and 88. We can also fly to Darnassus here if we wish. Of course, there's a portal to portal us up, so we don't need to. And we could also fly to Dolinar as well for free. And just so you know where they are, Dolinar is kind of just outside the starting zone of the Night Elves, and of course Darnassus is up here in this space, which is there. But instead of flying there, we just need to walk into this portal. And you can hear the little sound effect there. Discovered Darnassus. Darnassus! Here we are, Alliance territory, and look at this beautiful, beautiful city. I love Darnassus. It's full of canals, full of ancient architecture, ancient elven architecture. Got a chipmunk down there, let's love that. Got a toad, we should probably kill that. Here we go, we can go swimming, of course, in the beautiful waters of Darnassus. We won't go and do too much right now, but we'll take you on a bit of a guided tour around the city. And now, of course, if we hit the map, you can see where we are in the city. There we are, right in the centre there in the gardens. And I do happen to know, of course, from playing many, many Night Elves and coming here with many, many toons. Look at it. Look at the beautiful view. We've got the trees in the background there. All of the old temples. Oh, it's just gorgeous. We've got a wisp. There's a wisp floating around. You can hear it. What we do have here are mailboxes. We've got all the amenities, of course. It's a major, major city. And we have bankers.
What brings you here?
What brings you here? So right away, of course, we can put these crafting materials in the bank. We can put our food in the bank. Put some meat in the bank. We'll put our special staff, importantly, in the bank. Ruined leather scraps. These are all going to go in the auction house, so we'll keep them. Looks like we can also, we'll grab out these stones that we were keeping in the bank, because we're going to put them on the auction house, and of course we'll go through that in an episode very soon. Rough stone also, by the way, that needs to go on the auction house because we can't use that ourselves. You can see if I hover over it there, it's used for blacksmithing, engineering and jewel crafting, so we'll grab them out of the bank to make room in our bank, and we'll be going to pop them on the auction house so that other players can buy them. What else have we got? Copper bars. We could auction them as well, but not just yet, because one of our, if we look in our smelting here, you can see that in order to smelt, tin? No, in order to smelt bronze, we do need copper bars, so we'll keep them for now. Light leather, we'll definitely be selling that at the auction house. So that was a good emptying of our bags. Very nice. Ashar Thalar indeed. So I think that's where we'll wrap it up. I know we've gone over time. Sorry about that, folks. We've got a heroes board. I'll explain that. A heroes call board. We'll explain that in the next episode. Let's have a look as to where there it is, our Howling Oak quest is up the top there. At the very north of the city, over in the side, we've got the objective for this quest, which is where we have to speak to Gen Greymane, who of course is our king. He's obviously holed up over there in the... That's kind of a... Well, actually, the Howling Oak is a great big ancient, actually. It's way over there, and I don't think we can quite see it from here. No, but we'll see it when we get closer. So, got lots to look forward to in the next episode. We'll go around a city tour, and of course also finding out all the profession trainers. There's a lot of facilities here. We can do a lot of crafting. The auction house, the Heroes Call Board, our quest, and also I'll explain what's going on in the chat here, because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on that we aren't used to before. So all that and more in our new home here at Darnassus in the new Night Elf city. We've finally left behind Gilneas, and in fact if we zoom out, go over to the Eastern Kingdoms and have a look at that zone. where are we? Ruins of Gilneas. You can see actually it's all been covered up again because it is actually no longer the same as when we were there. That whole area is now disappeared as we know it. And so that's why I said make sure you've got everything done before you leave it. So very, very exciting. Certainly hope you enjoyed that episode of our exodus out of Gilneas and us joining up with the wonderful and hospitable Night Elves in their beautiful city of Darnassus, their large city of Darnassus. Can't wait to take you on a tour through it. Of course, I hope you join us for that in the future. In the meantime, of course, I hope you're having a great day. Take care. We'll see you soon, and bye-bye.